Now, we have a Filipino-American who bagged the title in the North American Irish Dance Championship, where 4,000 contenders from all around the world, they flew into Maryland, USA earlier this July. So let's talk to this talented and young Fil-Am dancer in the Hangout. We are joined by Emma Jose, all the way from New York. Beautiful day, Emma. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Good evening. It's 7:30 something there in New York, yes?
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you know what? I am so interested because usually young people, they choose a different kind of dance, a different genre. Usually here in the Philippines, it's usually hip hop or pop. But you, at 19, you are an Irish dance champion. That is amazing. So how did that journey begin for you? What sparked your passion? And can you tell us a little bit more about what Irish dance is?
Of course. So when I was about 4, I was already taking ballet and tap and hip hop.
4
and a
years
few
old,
friends
wow.
had decided to join. So I joined along with them. And 15 years later, I'm still here. And it is so incredible. And now with the title too, it's phenomenal.
Yep.
Irish dance, as it seems, would be originated from Ireland, and it contains both individual dancing, which is more of what I do, and group dancing as well. And it can be for social reasons, competitive reasons, performances. It is so fun. There are also 2 kinds of shoes. One is more like tap. It's more rhythmic. That's called the hard shoes. And then there's also the soft shoes, which is more balletic and jumps and leaps, all of those things. And it's been really exciting to be able to live out my dreams as an Irish dancer and to be able to see so many Filipino Irish dancers even in this community. So it's been awesome.
You know, you take a look at the Irish dance and just watching it, looking at it, you can see why there are so many people who are enthralled by it. The rhythm, the way that the movements all work out. You mentioned it's a bit like tap as well, and marrying that with ballet. But what in particular really hooked you when you were performing Irish dance? Like, what made you stick to it the most and really invest yourself in this?
I mean, I've loved it from the moment I put my first pair of shoes on. It's something that just allowed me to be creative and fun and jump around and have so much fun, like running around the stage or even in the classroom. It's been so awesome to be able to do that. And then now to be able to compete on big stages, the world stage, the national stage, it's been a dream come true. And especially doing it with my younger sister, Eliza, I've been able to explore how I do that with her and how I train and get to bond with her as well, which has really kept me in it all these years.
Oh, that's so sweet. Now her sister also does Irish dance. Yeah. So they're dancing together. You know, your aunt told us that you have been competing for years, right? And you go around the world competing, and this is the first time that you won the championship. So congratulations. Yes. Can you walk us through your training? How many hours do you train, and what are the classes like?
So that transition's been very different as I've entered my first year at college, but I've had so many years of training, going to class, and originally my classes were in New York City where I live. So it was an easy bus ride or an easy car ride, all of those things. And I would train maybe 3 to 5 days a week. But post-COVID, as I got older, I switched to a different dance school, which is much bigger and a little bit more. So I'm very fortunate to my parents for being able to drive me there every day. And I train 6 to 7 days a week in total. And then on top of that, I also cross train and do a lot of running and cycling and all of that stuff. So it's definitely been a journey where I have to dedicate a lot, but it is so worth it to be able to travel the world with my entire family, to be able to go around the stage and dancing and having fun. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
You know, you mentioned 6 to 7 days a week of training. I'm sure it feels like 8 though. But when you take a look at your record here, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. In previous years, you finished 5th, 7th, and 4th place. Finally getting to the championship. Can you walk us through the moment when it was finally announced that you finally got to that pinnacle?
I mean, I still cannot believe it. Actually, I can, but it's one of those something that I prepared so much for, especially with my training this season and being able to work myself and push myself, not only physically, but also mentally to be prepared, be able to go through this routine seamlessly on the day. So when they called it out, it was just a dream. A lot of tears, just everything came together, and I was so proud of myself for the dancing I put on the floor, and I was so fortunate that the results went the way they did.
Aside from winning the top spot, let's talk about your favorite memory from that whole competition week.
That's a tough one. I would probably say the Parade of Champions, which is something I dreamed of since I was a little kid. And while you may think like a parade, you walk around, do all that. No, this is actually a whole nother dance routine that you do with all the other champions. And you go around this, everyone's announced, and all the people stay after their awards just to watch this and just to watch all the champions do a little routine together. And usually this is people from many different schools. So you get to come together and watch all these incredible dancers in different age groups do their routine, which is pretty awesome. And I was very fortunate that 5 of the champions from my day, including myself, were from my dance school. So I got to celebrate this moment with them.
It's incredible that you can go there with the people from your dance school as well. So, I mean, when we take a look at the work that you've done, and of course, what the work that you're going to do in the future, you mentioned there's a bit of transition. Of course, first year in college, it feels like everything changes in terms of the routine, in terms of the workload, the stress. I mean, at this point, though, I'm sure you're already looking forward. What does that look like for you in terms of your very young dance career?
So this was my first year, and it was definitely a transition. Even traveling alone to Scotland without my family, or going to all the international competitions by myself, or meeting with professors to make sure I'm not missing too much work. It's been a transition for sure, but I've been so lucky to have the support system that I have to be able to compete with my coaches, my family, even my friends at school, all supporting me and being able to help me through this. I'm very excited for what the next year holds, especially proving to myself that I didn't only do what I came to do, but I also push it forward. Mentally, I push myself forward. And I'm just so excited to apply that in the fall. And I even go to Scotland in October, so I have something coming up soon.
Very good.
So exciting.
Excited for you for that.
I'm so jealous of her energy. Like training for 6 to 7 days a week and then going around the world.
She's also 19. She
I
has,
know, and
she has the energy.
19. She's 19, and oh my goodness. Oh, to be a child again. Oh, to be a young person again. But let's talk about the school that you represent. How's the community of Filipinos there? You mentioned a while ago that the other Filipinos are also dancing Irish dance.
Yes. So when I was growing up, there's a documentary about Irish dance called Jig. And that was my dream documentary. And there's a dancer that they follow who ends up winning the world. And her name is Julia O'Rourke. And she's a Filipino-Irish dancer. So growing up, she was my idol. She's someone I dreamed of being. And when I switched to her dance school after COVID, I was so lucky to be able to train with her and see myself in her. And it's been really incredible. And then along with that, one of my really good friends, also a national champion from my dance school, he's also Filipino and Irish. So getting to do this whole thing with him, getting to explore our culture. We're planning a trip to Manila even. Who knows when, but it's been incredible to do this with them and be able to see myself in other people in this community.
I don't think a lot of people realize, at least here in the Philippines, just how important heritage is when it comes to living overseas, because it has a lot to do with identity, comfort even, and maybe seeing something in yourself that you see in other people. Just give us an idea here of how important that heritage is when you are working towards something and in terms of reaching the next level which you want to do with your dance.
I mean, it's so important connecting myself to my culture, or even in the Irish culture, connecting myself to that as well, and seeing where this all fits into my life has been so great. And then especially getting to do this with my family and having all my cousins in the Philippines cheer me on, having all my cousins spread out everywhere, having everyone support me has been so amazing. And to kind of bring together people from all over to get them to know what Irish dance is and get to see me in this position has been so great.
You know, Emma, there's a joke here in the Philippines that once you find a measure of success, all of a sudden your relatives multiply. All of a sudden you're going to have different titos and titas coming out of every nook and cranny.
All your relatives just suddenly appear. biglang, oy, congratulations, Iha! And then they have all these banners. I feel like when you visit the Philippines, your family members here are gonna be putting up banners for you with your photo and everything. That's how it is here. But we're talking about heritage. Are you curious to try other types of dance, maybe like Filipino traditional tinikling?
So I am definitely curious to try that. I did try a little bit of it at my middle school. We had a dance group and we did a different kind of dance every single semester.
Okay.
So I had advocated for that when I was younger, and she let us, and it was so fun to learn it. And I just thought it was so great to do that with other people and getting to learn about the culture as well. So I hope to come back to it someday.
Oh no, we gotta hook you up with the folk dance
Yes.
societies here because yeah, we could help you out with that. But of course, when you take a look at the Filipino heritage, we just had a news item a while ago that we want to talk about because it was U.S. related. I think you heard it, but then Chicken Joy, Jollibee, number one fried
Yes.
chicken in the states according to USA.
I was very
US
excited to
Today,
hear
yeah.
that.
I was so excited for that. I am flexing for all of the chickens here in the Philippines. But I don't know. Your dad actually sent us a message
You're a Chicken Joy fan?
that you're a fan as well.
I am. So I was vegetarian for a while, so I couldn't try Jollibee for a long time. But recently I came out of my vegetarianism and my uncle took me immediately to Jollibee.
Uh-huh.
Oh
So
no.
it lives up to the name.
Oh no. I can't believe Chicken Joy
And
got
that
her out
really
of
comes
it.
that comes after what do you call this? A reason to celebrate. Like everybody
yeah.
celebrates in places like that, and you order Chicken Joy, right?
Yeah,
and celebrate there in
100%.
Jollibee. But Emma, I'm curious. If you weren't dancing, where would we find you on a weekend? Are there other interests or hobbies?
Well, all of my competitions take place on the weekends, so
Okay.
So that's a
normally
work day.
that's how I spend it. But I love spending time with friends, going outside, exploring, all those things. And currently, I'm working in a lab doing something I love. So I'm very excited to explore both my career as whatever I want to be. I think I want to be something with environmental stuff. So exploring,
Oh.
also being able to work and do my dance training,
Mhm.
balancing both and hard, but also incredibly rewarding.
All right, so let's talk a bit about your hopes and dreams first.
You're working in a
to be
lab?
completely frank.
I got curious.
No, working in the lab. That means that she's working on her craft.
Ah, I
Uh,
see. Okay.
So, but when you talk, Eva, when you talk about what you want to do with your dance in the future, what's the goal for you? I know it's to compete and to win, and that's obviously a part of it. But then, where do you want this dancing to lead you in an ideal world?
Well, I think dance has given me so many life lessons and experience I couldn't imagine having any other way. So I've been very lucky to live that out as long as I can
Mhm.
and to see where that takes me in the future. I've loved traveling, I've loved dancing everywhere, meeting so many new people. So that's definitely something I want to keep in my life together, whether it's teaching or continuing to dance, maybe even going on tour. I would love to keep dancing for as long as I can. And then even beyond that, dance never leaves you. This is a sport where
Mhm.
even people who have retired, we are still so close and I can always check in. And especially with social media, I've been able to do that as well. So as much as I'm like, oh, there may be a new adventure at some point, Irish dance never leaves you.
Out of curiosity, Emma, I know you're very young and it's the start of your career. But then, from a competition standpoint, typically around what age range do dancers in Irish dance peak? And of course, when do they start transitioning into more of a teaching role based on your experience working with all these people?
So the oldest age category is called the senior ladies, which I wouldn't consider 23 a senior lady, but 23 and over is considered the highest category.
Okay.
But you around that senior lady category, or maybe around 25, 26 is when people really start to transition into that teaching role. But even the younger dancers, even someone like me, I've been so lucky that my coaches have allowed me to teach some classes or assist them in any way. So I get to see the next generation of Irish dancers, which is also really exciting to me.
If you could combine Irish dance with maybe another form of dance style, what would that mashup look like?
I don't know. Well, as an Irish dancer, I don't use my arms. So there would definitely be some component of arms that I would love to add in there. But what that would look like, I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, actually, I'd be really curious to see that. But of course, Emma, we're excited for you to come back to the Philippines. Well, actually, for the first time, for you to come back to the Philippines for the first time and discover dance here as well. Because I can guarantee you there are going to be a lot of
Yes.
Filipino folk dance groups who are going to be really interested. Is there any type of a piece of Philippine culture that you wish you could reconnect with more that perhaps you will look forward to when you go here to the Philippines?
Ooh, that's a really tough question. I mean, I don't know exactly what I'd say, but I would love to see all my Filipino ancestors over there and get to meet them, not just have all my Titos and Titas over Facebook, but that's really what I was about, the sense of community and just getting to meet everyone and exploring the Philippines.
You know what? I think we're going to enjoy you coming on over here, and of course, I think
I feel like she should come and visit and perform her dance here in the studio.
yeah, because she's
For
never
us.
seen one. She's never seen one. I had to actually introduce Anne here to a
Yeah,
bit of
yeah.
Irish dance.
I had to
Uh,
Google and look at some videos,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Ooh, this is amazing!" It kind of looks like tap dancing, actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
in a way that it does. Emma, right now we are gonna wrap up in just a bit, but then we love asking our guests this as we as we end the interview, and that is very simply the show is called Beautiful Day. So Emma, what makes your day beautiful?
Oh, I love that question. I would say today my day was beautiful by this interview and getting to meet you guys, and also being able to explore my college campus and go for a nice walk this morning. It's been a really beautiful day here, nice and sunny. I heard it was a little rainy over there, but I'm so grateful for it to be sunny out here and just to enjoy my summer.
A little rainy is an understatement, Emma, but we really appreciate you, and we cannot wait to see you live in person. Thank you so much for joining us here.
So much.
Thank you, Emma Jose, North American Irish Dance 2025 champion. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.